Welcome to the podcast. Today, we're diving into some fascinating insights on what really makes or breaks a relationship. It's all about the little things like those everyday moments that connect us.
Yeah, and it's amazing how something as simple as a comment about the weather can be a gateway to connection, right?
Absolutely. It's like imagine a scenario where one partner comes home drained after a long day, and then out of nowhere, the other partner greets them with a cheerful comment. What beautiful weather. It's just lovely today.
Right.
That moment is what Gottman describes as an emotional bid.
Yeah, those little bids are really the heartbeat of a relationship, basically asking, do I matter to you in the smallest yet most powerful way?
Exactly. And Gottman's research shows that consistently turning toward these bids in even the tiniest ways can literally build up the overall security of a relationship over time.
So when we say turning toward, it means acknowledging that bid, maybe with a simple yes it is, or sometimes even diving into a deeper conversation, right?
Yep. And there are four distinct ways to respond to these bids. You can turn toward, turn enthusiastically toward, turn away, or turn against. And that response can set the tone for how secure and connected a couple feels.
Now here's something I was thinking about. While a simple acknowledgement is beneficial, isn't it sometimes a bit challenging if one partner is just exhausted from the day?
It can be challenging, no doubt. But the key is that even when you're tired, just a brief moment to engage can make all the difference. It's like investing in the relationship, even in micro moments.
Right, because research shows that couples who respond to these bids about 86% of the time tend to stay together, whereas those who ignore them just 33% get back together, isn't it?
Exactly. And that stat is really striking. It tells us that it's not always the grand gestures, but the consistent small acknowledgments.
Yeah.
Those little moments add up to a foundation of security and trust.
And it's interesting. When we talk about turning toward, it's not about overloading your partner with energy. Even a simple nod, a brief smile, or just saying, yeah, it's beautiful, is enough sometimes.
Right. It doesn't require endless energy. Sometimes it's like, just a quick, I'm here, that confirms their importance. And that confirmation can repel bigger issues later on.
But here's a thought. What about when the response is, say, turning away? That's not just ignoring, is it?
It's a slippery slope. Turning away might be due to preoccupation or emotional unavailability. And when that becomes a habit, it starts to erode the connection.
Yeah, I see that.
It's like leaving your partner on red every time they send a message. They slowly feel neglected.
And then there's turning against, which seems like the worst choice. I mean, that's actively dismissing your partner's attempt to connect, right?
Precisely. Turning against is more than just ignoring. It's a hostile reaction, and it can really undercut the trust and warmth in the relationship. It's essentially sending a message that their feelings aren't welcome.
I get that, but I wonder if sometimes a partner might, out of frustration, accidentally turn against without realizing the effect. What do you think about that?
That's a great point. Sometimes, when emotions run high, even a well-intentioned person might misread the moment. But Gottman's work highlights that the reaction, even if it's mistaken, can have long-term implications. So it's important to cultivate mindfulness in those moments of disconnect.
Yeah, because if we keep missing those little cues, the relationship becomes like a slow leak rather than a sudden burst of problems.
Exactly. And this approach really reinforces that it's the continuous small investments in connection that protect against the stresses of life. Each time you turn toward an emotional bid, you're putting a little brick in the wall of your relationship's security.
Yep, absolutely. And it's pretty fascinating how something as trivial as commenting on the weather can be loaded with meaning. It's like the silent question, are you with me?
Totally. And if you think about it, these emotional bids might also be influenced by past experiences like previous infidelity or trauma, making the response even more critical, right? It's a way to constantly remind each other of being cherished.
And when you get that yes to your bid regularly, it's like, continuously refreshing the relationship's emotional bank account.
Oh, definitely. It builds a kind of resilience, the sort that helps couples navigate all sorts of challenges, from daily stressors to major life upheavals.
Right on, exactly.
It's really compelling how small efforts translate into strong relational bonds.
It almost sounds like the secret recipe for enduring love is hidden in these tiny moments, rather than in big, dramatic gestures.
Exactly. It's like saying that love isn't just about the fireworks, but more like the warm, steady embers that keep burning over time. It really captures the
I love that
essence of what
analogy.
makes love last.
And regarding those four responses you mentioned, do you think every person falls neatly into one category, or is there some fluidity in how they respond?
Great question. I think there's definitely fluidity. Sometimes, depending on circumstances, even the most loving partner may unintentionally turn away or even against in high-stress moments. What matters most is the overall pattern, especially the frequency of turning toward. It's
Yeah,
the
that's true.
cumulative effect that really lights up the relationship's strength.
Now, on a slightly different note, one might argue that these small moments, though powerful, might be overshadowed by larger conflicts. Do you think the emphasis on these little things might underestimate the importance of overall conflict resolution?
That's a respectful challenge. Yeah, it's true that major conflicts deserve attention, but what Gottman's point is, the way couples navigate their everyday interactions profoundly influences how they handle bigger issues. If you have a history of turning toward each
absolutely.
other, you're better prepared to overcome larger challenges.
So essentially, these emotional bids set the tone for handling conflict by building a foundation of mutual trust and understanding.
Exactly. When both partners feel acknowledged regularly, it becomes easier to navigate rough patches because the emotional connection has been continuously reinforced.
Right? That's
It
a strong
creates a
point.
kind of emotional safety net that can catch you if things go awry.
And that's really the beauty of this whole approach. It's accessible to anyone. You don't need fancy tools or intense therapy sessions. Just mindful attention to everyday moments can make a huge difference, right?
Yeah, it's democratic in a way. Everyone can participate. The idea is to be present and intentional with your partner. Every time you see your
absolutely.
partner reaching out, you have a chance to show care.
I find it so enlightening that these micro moments are not trivial at all. They're like the glue that holds the long-term relationship together.
Right. It's like building a castle with not huge blocks, but with thousands of tiny pebbles. When you look back, those little ones are what kept it sturdy.
Yeah,
And even
yeah,
if one
exactly.
pebble falls, the structure remains largely intact if the others are in place.
And perhaps that's why some relationship therapies, like Gottman's method, place such a strong emphasis on intentionally recognizing these moments. It really democratizes love.
Definitely. It encourages partners to track and nurture those moments day by day. Whether it's a casual comment or a quick look, it all builds up to a deep, trusting bond.
No doubt about that. So, as a takeaway, it just goes to show that investing in these small, everyday interactions can be transformative in sustaining long-term love, isn't it?
Absolutely. Every emotional bid is an opportunity, a chance to affirm, to connect, and ultimately to strengthen the love that keeps you together. And that's the whole point.
Right on.
It's
Absolutely.
the little things that truly make or break your relationship.